What's up, you derelicts? I just got done finished up the morning, and I work on Saturdays, so I'm heading into work. And I'm making a little drive. But I thought, you know what? Dude, let's talk about some traps. And you guys want to know what the best trap is? Well, I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you what the best trap is. But before we get into all that, there are a lot of blowhards and a lot of diehards and a lot of get-hards on all these different trap and trap making and trap brands. So, you know, you have your big companies like your MB 550, you have your Duke 550s now, you have the Jig Trap, phenomenal trap, you have the No BS Juniors or the No BS traps, they're good traps. You have your guys that like your Victors, you have the guys that like your Montanas, you know. So a lot of it's going to come down to personal preference, how you were trained, who mentored you, what did they have, or what were you around, what were you able to get your hands on at a younger age, or when you started getting serious into trapping. A lot of it's going to come down to that, and a lot of it's going to come down to people hyping up certain traps, especially like some of like the well-known guys, or some of the even some of like the bigger companies that are able to produce and get out a lot of traps to people. So it's going to be more like a flood the market with this trap, or try and get people to use this particular trap because X, Y, and Z all use it and they think it's great, when really that might not be the case. It just might be they might be some decently older, well-known trappers that have a platform and they push a product that is actually subpar or something. So it could be the complete opposite. But so when it comes to people talking about the best trap, pardon me, when it comes to people talking about the best trap, it's going to come down to personal preference, what they grew up around, what they can afford, what their lifestyle is, what their trapping style is. Some people aren't going to use a big, fully modified trap to catch every single live animal for the market, or for the live market. Whereas if you're just fur trapping, it doesn't matter. You can use the best equipment you can. Some people don't like heavy traps because they travel out of state, and you say you take 100. You're going to take 100 No BS Juniors out of state. They roughly weigh, and let's just ballpark, but they roughly weigh 3.5 pounds. So you're taking almost 350 pounds, as opposed to if you would take a Duke 1.5 or Duke number 2 that weighs around 2 pounds. So you're clearly cutting your load by 100 pounds. Or 150 pounds, honestly. So some people don't want to have the heaviest trap when they're going out of state. That's fine. They just need a trap that's fast, powerful, and it works, and it's going to hold up, and it's durable. Trapping here in the east, you're going to be trapping, in my opinion, a larger animal, a heavier coyote. Trapping out in the west, you're going to be trapping a little bit lighter coyote, something that's not going to be able to damage or destroy your equipment as opposed to trapping here in the Midwest, or even the east, or northern parts of the state, like the Northeast. So now, price is going to be a huge thing on what you can afford. There's going to be a lot of good trappers out there, especially young guys starting, but they just can't afford to spend $400 on a dozen jigs, or $300+ on a dozen No BS Juniors, and they go and they get the MB 550s or the Duke 550s, which, in my opinion, I think the Duke 550 is better. wouldn't say better. I like it better. I like the Duke 550 better because I like the square pan. I just think that's cat's ass. Regardless, they're both good traps. I just like the 550 better. I also like the Duke better. So he's always been nice to me and personal to me, whereas the other, I've never really had a good interaction with him. But ooh, my wife makes some pretty good coffee. But I wouldn't have a problem using either one of those traps. It's just I like the one, I like the Duke better. And just like I like the Duke number 2s better. I have a bunch of Duke number 2 square jaws that I fully modified and that would rock and roll anytime. But if Duke would come out with a number 2 square jaw wire lever trap, bet your ass I would probably be going back to Duke. As though for right now, I'm going with the no BS traps. And I like the no BS wire levers. I'm not sitting here promoting, I'm just saying that's what I like. That's what I like to run. I'm not saying they're the best trap, but they're the best trap, in my opinion, for my situation. So when it comes to you having the best trap, or what's the best trap? The best trap is whatever trap's going to fit your situation and make you a more functional and more advanced and more proficient trapper. So the best trap, it doesn't come down to this is the best trap, MB's Duke, Jake. No, it's whatever trap that you can afford, that you're going to like, that you're going to run, that you know the movements and you know the bedding and you know how to work it into a trap bed. The best trap's the trap that you are the most comfortable setting, the most comfortable having stolen, the most comfortable that having ran over by a tractor and you're not able to, fabricate it back into working condition. So the best trap out there, in my opinion, is something that's really going to put you at ease in an all-around situation. When I say all-around situation, that goes from setting the trap, buying the trap, storing the trap, losing the trap, whatever, any little component with that trap, that is going to make you better. That's going to, instead of losing a $40 Jake and you lose a $17 Duke, might feel a little bit better about that. I know I would, but I'm not going to run no Jakes. That's just my preference. So, a little tidbit this morning. Something I was thinking about. A lot of people bitch and moan about traps, and a lot of people are going to probably bitch and moan about this just because they're douchebags. But hey, let them bitch and moan. And some of us will just keep going out there and we'll keep setting, we'll keep checking, and we'll keep trapping, and we'll keep supporting the trapping industry and keep getting folks, whether it's young or old, involved, and keep this thing going. So have a great morning. Go kick some ass. If you're not kicking ass, well, change something.